In the frozen realms of Norse mythology, among gods of thunder, war, and wisdom, there lived a being who defied all categories. Neither fully god nor giant, neither hero nor villain, he was the agent of chaos who would both save and destroy the divine world. His name was Loki, and this is his complete story, from his mysterious birth to the apocalyptic end of all things. 030 to 130. Origins and arrival in Asgard. Loki was born in Jotunheim, the land of giants, to Farbauti and Laufey. But unlike the brutal frost giants, Loki was smaller, sharper, and possessed extraordinary powers. He was a master shapeshifter who could transform into any creature, change his gender, and weave illusions that fooled even the wisest gods. Through a mysterious blood brotherhood pact with Odin, the All-Father himself, Loki became part of Asgard's divine family. They mixed their blood, binding themselves as brothers forever. But Loki never truly belonged. He was the outsider, the giant among gods, the chaos in their ordered realm. Loki married Sigyn, a loyal goddess, and they had 2 sons. But Loki also had a secret family with the giantess Angerboda, 3 monstrous children who would shape the fate of the cosmos: Fenrir, the giant wolf, Jörmungandr, the world serpent, and Hel, the half-dead goddess of the underworld. The binding of his children. When the gods discovered Loki's monstrous children, prophecies foretold the danger they would bring at Ragnarök. Terrified, the gods tore them from their father. Hel was cast into Niflheim to rule the realm of the dead. Jörmungandr was hurled into the ocean, where he grew so massive he encircled the entire world, grasping his own tail. Fenrir was kept in Asgard but grew so fierce that only Tyr, the god of war, dared feed him. The gods commissioned dwarves to forge Gleipnir, a magical ribbon made from impossible things. The sound of a cat's footfall, a woman's beard, the roots of mountains, the breath of fish, and the spittle of birds. They challenged Fenrir to break it, but the suspicious wolf demanded one god place their hand in his mouth as insurance. Only Tyr was brave enough. When Fenrir couldn't break free and realized he'd been tricked, he bit down hard, severing Tyr's hand. Imagine Loki's fury, his children imprisoned and exiled by the very gods he called family. Seeds of resentment were planted deep. The trickster helps the gods. Yet before his final betrayal, Loki saved the gods countless times with his cunning. When a giant builder offered to rebuild Asgard's walls in exchange for the sun, moon, and the goddess Freya, the gods agreed, thinking the task impossible. But with his magical horse Svadilfari, the giant nearly completed the work. Panicking, the gods blamed Loki and demanded he fix it. Loki transformed into a beautiful mare, seduced Svadilfari away, and the builder failed. 8 months later, Loki gave birth to Sleipnir, the 8-legged horse that became Odin's legendary steed. Another time, Loki cut off the golden hair of Sif, Thor's wife, as a prank. When Thor threatened to pulverize him, Loki rushed to the dwarves and convinced them to forge new golden hair that would grow naturally. But being Loki, he couldn't resist making a bet, wagering his own head that one group of dwarves couldn't outdo another. The result? The creation of Norse mythology's greatest treasures: Sif's golden hair, Odin's spear Gungnir, his ring Draupnir, Freyr's golden boar, and most importantly, Thor's hammer Mjolnir. Loki lost the bet but escaped through wordplay. The dwarf could have his head, but not his neck, making it impossible to claim without breaking the agreement. Loki also rescued Idun and her apples of youth after previously betraying her to a giant. Without those apples, the gods had begun aging rapidly. He transformed Idun into a nut, flew her back to Asgard in falcon form, and the pursuing giant was burned alive by the gods' trap. Time and again, Loki's schemes created problems, but his cleverness solved them too. The death of Baldr, the unforgivable sin. Then came the act that broke everything. Baldr, Odin's son, was the most beloved god, beautiful, kind, and pure. When he dreamed of his own death, his mother Frigg traveled through all 9 realms, making every object, plant, and creature swear never to harm him. Everything agreed, except a young mistletoe plant she deemed too harmless to matter. The gods made a game of Baldr's invulnerability, throwing weapons at him for sport. Nothing could hurt him, and they laughed with joy. But Loki, consumed by jealousy and bitterness, disguised himself as an old woman and tricked Frigg into revealing the mistletoe's exemption. He fetched the plant, fashioned it into a dart, and approached Hödur, Baldr's blind brother who stood alone, unable to join the game. "Let me help you honor your brother," Loki whispered, placing the dart in Hödur's hand and guiding his aim. The dart flew. Baldr fell dead. The god's joy shattered into grief and horror. Hermod rode to Hel's realm to bargain for Baldr's return. Hel agreed on one condition: every single being in existence must weep for Baldr. If even one refused, he would remain dead forever. Messengers spread across all worlds. Everything wept. Gods, humans, animals, trees, stones, even metals shed tears of dew. But in a dark cave they found a giantess named Thok, who coldly refused to cry. "Let Hel keep what she has," she sneered. Thok was Loki in disguise. His final, unforgivable betrayal was complete. Loki's capture and punishment. The gods hunted Loki with murderous rage. He fled to the mountains, built a house with doors facing all directions to watch for pursuers, and during the day transformed into a salmon hiding in a waterfall. But the gods found him. They captured the salmon and dragged Loki to a cave deep underground. Then came a punishment so cruel it would last until the end of time. The gods took Loki's son Vali and transformed him into a wolf. The maddened wolf tore apart his brother Narfi. Using Narfi's own entrails, the gods bound Loki to 3 sharp rocks, one under his shoulders, one under his loins, one under his knees. The entrails turned to iron chains. Above Loki's face, the gods placed a serpent whose venom dripped onto him, causing unbearable agony. Only his faithful wife Sigyn remained, holding a bowl to catch the poison. But when the bowl filled and she had to empty it, venom would splash onto Loki's face. His writhing and torment caused earthquakes to shake the mortal world. This would be Loki's fate until Ragnarök, the twilight of the gods. Ragnarök, the end of all things, and Ragnarök will come. The signs are foretold. 3 winters with no summer. Brother will kill brother. The sun and moon will be devoured by wolves. When these final days arrive, Loki will break free from his chains. All bonds will shatter. Fenrir will escape his magical ribbon. Jormungandr will rise from the ocean, and Hel will open the gates of her realm. Loki will captain Naglfar, a ship made from the fingernails of the dead, bringing armies of giants and the dishonored dead to wage war on Asgard. His monstrous children will join him. Fenrir will grow so large his jaws span from earth to sky. Jormungandr will thrash in the ocean, poisoning the air itself. On the plains of Vegrid, the final battle will rage. Odin will face Fenrir and be devoured. Thor will kill Jormungandr, but will drown in the serpent's venom, taking only 9 steps before collapsing. Heimdall, the watchman of the gods, will face Loki in single combat. The ancient enemies will clash one final time, and they will kill each other. Loki and Heimdall will both fall as the world burns around them. Surtur, the fire giant, will set the 9 realms ablaze. The stars will disappear, the earth will sink into the sea. Gods, giants, monsters, and mortals will perish. But this is not the end. From the ashes, a new world will rise, green, fresh, and pure. Some gods will survive, 2 humans will emerge to repopulate the earth, and Baldr will return from Hel to dwell in the new Asgard. This is the full story of Loki, the blood brother who became the betrayer, the clever hero who became the destroyer, the father whose children would end the world. He was never simply good or evil. He was complexity itself, the necessary chaos that both saved and damned the gods. Perhaps that's why, thousands of years after the Vikings told his tales, we still can't look away from the trickster god who walked between worlds and brought them all to ruin.